Hello, everyone. Welcome to All Day the Geek Way. I'm Jet. Hope you're enjoying your day. The Geek Way, of course, and I've just finished watching the first two episodes of Marvel's What If series. I'm going to do a quick review on it, and I think the first episode it's okay. I know it's a hedonistic thing for me to say because a lot of people that I've been talking to have been watching it saying that it was really good, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was all that great, to be honest with you. I've been having a lot of problems with a lot of the lip syncing in terms of dialogue and lips moving. This is for both of the episodes. And I think the first episode, I'm not criticizing any of the concepts. I mean, it's what if, and it's a hypothetical situation, and instead of having it in a 2 hour time span like they do in the movies, they fit it into about 28 minutes per episode. And I thought Captain Carter was okay. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I didn't think some of the concepts were cool. I thought some things were pretty silly, to be quite honest with you. Because what I've noticed with this What If series is it's really contrived with references from previous movies. It does have some good parts, don't get me wrong. But this first movie in particular, this first episode in particular, I just thought it was a little bit silly. And I didn't mind the social justice aspect. That's perfectly fine. I mean, World War II was back in the 1940s. Let's be real, women were not expected to be on the battlefield. I thought that was a pretty accurate depiction and being like, yeah, you gave the serum to a woman, like, women can't fight, you might break a nail. And I thought that was, it was, it was a good line in the sense of being like the obscene bigotry and misogyny from back in the 1940s. Like, that was a thing. And I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of reactionaries on YouTube that are just like, I watched this episode and I get it. Women can be powerful too. Why are you shoving this down my throat? Like, if you actually interpret it with the time period, it makes a lot of sense. Like, don't get all reactionary, don't get all butthurt because it's woman empowerment. It was very much on the nose to back in that day. Not that I was alive in the 1940s, but I've heard things, I've researched things, especially about the war and the society back then and all the bigotry that was going on back in the day. I don't know if you know this, but the Nazis were, they hated people. Americans, they had internment camps. Things were going on. And neither here nor there. The thing that I criticized this first episode the most on, and also a problem in episode 2 with T'Challa as Star-Lord, but this first episode, the dialogue and the sound design, I think it's sound designs by Max Smith or something like that. It drives me crazy. Like, it's very abrupt and it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel natural at all. It's just, they try to make it feel natural with interruptions and making it feel cut off, but this is what it sounds like to me. We're gonna break into this building. You can't do that. It's really stupid. But if we do the plan was gonna work.
No, it isn't. It won't work well at all.
I haven't actually processed anything you said, and I'm just interrupting you. Forgive me for the shoddy editing. Trust me, I know I'm using iMovie on my phone, so forgive me when I get editing software one of these days. I keep talking about it, but when I get it one of these days, I'll actually layer it properly and put in proper audio so it feels a little bit more natural. Anyway, yeah, the audio and the dialogue in the first episode, at least, it was just continuous like interruptions, and nothing felt really natural. And it's not like an interruption where it's just you're getting into a fight and you're in the heat of things and you're just going to start interrupting in the middle of a sentence while someone else is trying to finish. It's like someone's saying something and then their dialogue is cut off by whatever the other person interjects with. It's not like layered. And not to mention, it's very fast paced for the dialogue. That's why I was like, blah, 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 in my video. And it didn't feel natural. I didn't like any of the dialogue or any of the sound design. There's no time that the characters take to process what's happening. And to some extent, I get it. Like I said earlier, the way that these episodes are set up is they have a lot to fill within a short period of time. And with the Captain Carter episode, it was basically the first Captain America movie in 30 minutes, and the main character is instead Captain Carter. It was okay, and And it's just, the dialogue just needs to feel a little bit more natural, because when we go to episode 2, the dialogue, the banter, even though it's still fast paced, there's a little bit of normalcy. There's a little bit of processing between dialogue, and the interruptions feel a little bit more natural. I mean, yeah, there's like a huge difference in the dialogue and sound design. It really bothered me. It very much stood out in the first episode. The concept behind it, again, was totally fine. Just Peggy Carter as Captain Carter, totally fine. Steve Rogers not getting the serum and instead having an alternate Iron Man suit. Yeah, that was also weird, actually. Howard Stark just being like, oh, I know what to do with this Tesseract thing, and then the Hydra gets a hold of the Tesseract. But Howard creates basically an Iron Man suit for Steve Rogers. I thought the Iron Man suit was more of a design from Tony Stark, not Howard Stark. Also, when they break into the castle, Howard Stark is wearing a suit. Like, they didn't prepare him with any military gear, something a little more comfortable, a little bit more maneuverable. It's just like, I'm the scientist role, I have to wear the suit. I'm not Howard Stark without the suit. I need to wear the suit as I run through this castle full of Nazis, or Hydra agents in this case. And the most hilarious part of the Captain Carter episode was when the Red Skull, he's just like, you have finally come, Captain Carter, my ultimate champion. And like the squid just grabs the Red Skull and crushes him. Like, the Red Skull is supposed to be one of the smartest villains in Marvel, and he was just like, yes, I come up with a plan. Oh no, I am being crushed. And he just gets annihilated. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed out loud. I thought that was a little bit ridiculous. I mean, it's Marvel and it's science fiction. There's a whole lot of absurdities. But that one, for some reason, my suspension of disbelief, I'm like, no. I'll take a skinny man in a suit. I'll take someone who's also posing as Captain America, but with an alternate person. I'll take all this other stuff, but the Red Skull just instantly being crushed and just not being prepared for anything to backfire on him. Please. Okay. Anyway, that episode was fine. Episode 2 I enjoyed a lot more, where it's T'Challa as Star-Lord. And what I basically get from the gist of these What If episodes right now is just like, hey, what if this happened? Seems like things would have been a lot better. Like, if Peter Quill wasn't Star-Lord and it was T'Challa instead, he's making the galaxy a better place. Now, the ending with Kurt Russell as Ego, talking to Peter Quill working at a Dairy Queen. Okay, that's subject to change as to how the world could be better, but it's just very interesting. It's like T'Challa. Oh, and the beginning of the episode is actually a lot of fun. It's the dialogue that you see in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and Peter Quill says, like, I'm Star-Lord, and the guy's like, who? And it's an alternate version where it's T'Challa, and he's just like, you're Star-Lord? I'm stoked. You're one of my heroes, but I have to do this job. We have to fight. And it was a lot of fun, I gotta say. The dialogue, the banter was a lot more fun. Felt a lot more natural. It was still a little bit fast-paced, and I don't blame the series for it entirely. Like, again, I get it. But it felt a lot more fun in this episode. I did think some things were a little bit ridiculous. Like, they go into that bar area. I can't remember where it was at. Like, Nebula, like, being okay was fine. She was voiced by Karen Gillan. And actually, this episode, T'Challa was voiced by Chadwick Boseman. This was before he passed away. And the end of this episode commemorates Chadwick Boseman. And that brought a little tear to my eye. It really did, though. Like, I love Chadwick Boseman. He was very impressive. But Nebula is voiced by Karen Gillan. You got Yondu, who's voiced by Michael Rooker. The Collector is Benicio del Toro. Thanos makes an appearance in the episode. So this is part of what I thought was ridiculous. But he's voiced by Josh Brolin, first off. But just now Thanos is part of the Ravagers, which I thought was interesting. I mean, it's a cool concept, don't get me wrong, but it was just like, yeah, Thanos, the warlord, going across the galaxy, taking down systems, committing genocide by splitting planets in half, adopting his daughters, but killing off half of their species. But he sat down with T'Challa and he was just like, no, you're right. My method sucks. It's still a good idea, though. I thought that was a little bit far-fetched, to be honest with you. Just him being like, oh, but he talked to T'Challa and everything was fine. And I'm just like, should T'Challa have just been Star-Lord? Like, the galaxy just would have been a far better place? Like, what is going on? And it was also a cool concept that T'Challa changed the Ravagers from being a group of pirates that get things and sell them for profit, but instead they act like Robin Hood, where they commit crimes, they steal from the rich, and give back to the poor. Way to go, comrades. Anyway, interesting episode, and I enjoyed it overall. It was interesting getting the Collector involved, and we actually got to see the Collector in action, because we never got to see these in the previous movies. I thought that was fun. And them having like a whole Ocean's 11 type of plan when breaking in to the Collector's collection on Nowhere. And some of the dialogue was fine. Remember there was one point where Yondu was yelling at T'Challa and then he said, "You dig?" And I'm like, okay. All right, he's getting hip. Yondu is connecting with the kids. You dig? Thanos as a good guy, voiced by Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin just, I don't know, everything he does, he just delivers impeccable. Like, he's incredible. He just delivers. And it was cool to see him fight against like the people that were allied with Thanos. I can't believe I'm blanking on the name, but you know, you have like Ebony and oh god, I'm forgetting the names of all of them, but like Black Dwarf and all of them. I can't believe it. One fun appearance though was Drax, who wasn't voiced by Dave Bautista. He was voiced by Fred Tatasciore, and he's actually one of my favorite voice actors. He's done a lot of 2D animated Marvel series. He did Avengers vs. Mightiest Heroes, if I remember right. He also did Hulk versus Thor. He was the voice of Hulk. He's a very impressive voice actor, and he was a lot of fun as Drax. And Drax makes a reference to being like, "Hey, you're Star-Lord. Hey, you saved my planet from a Kree invasion. Oh, I got to send a picture to my wife and daughter." It's like, it's no big deal. It was actually a big deal, and it took this long. Like, being very literal, as per usual. That was pretty fun. The second episode, I'm just rambling at the moment. It was a lot better than the first, I gotta be honest. Like, I think T'Challa as Star-Lord was a lot of fun, but it is still kind of funny just being like, what if this happened? The galaxy would be a better place, right? It turns out all the heroes, are making some pretty bad decisions. So I'm looking forward to some of the newer episodes. Again, it alluded to Ego meeting with Peter Quill at the end of it, voiced by Kurt Russell. And also, I'm curious about the episode coming up later where Tony Stark is saved, and apparently he's saved by Killmonger. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. It seems like things are going pretty well in the What If series, like saying like, things suck in the main Marvel universe. If only this happened. Anyway, moving on. But the What If series has always been a lot of fun. And this is what this series is. It's meant to be fun. I'm being a little bit too harsh, I'll admit. But it's meant to be fun. Just kind of give like alternate perspectives, like what would happen if a different decision was made and it affected the outcomes in these certain areas. So I'm still going to watch the series. Again. Episode 1, it was okay. I think people are making it out to be better than it actually was. Episode 2, that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with episode 2. So anyway, I'm going to end the video here. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of November. And if you like the video, I'll get ideas flowing out there. I enjoy doing these types of reviews, and I plan to do them a little bit more in the future. I'll have one a little bit more streamlined. I'll write notes for it next time. Don't worry, I'm fighting with the internet in my house here, so writing notes was more infuriating than anything. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. If you made it this far, I do greatly appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. What did you think of these first 2 episodes? Leave a comment in the comment section below. It helps me out a lot. And until next time, everyone, enjoy your day the geek way. I'll see you later. See you in the next video.